Okay, everybody, right here is the lever for the tilt wheel. Mine was loose. I was able to undo it by hand, but there is flat spots for a wrench. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Phillips head screwdriver. There's 3 screws underneath here that pulls the, I guess you call it a shroud, off. And you're going to see here in a little while that I realized I'm going to need to take off the panel that's on the dashboard to get a little more extra clearance from the upper portion of the steering column shroud, I guess we'll call it. In all seriousness, you need to pull the key cylinder out of the way to completely remove it, but you'll see later on in the video I just simply held it out of my way because the plastic was pretty warm. It was really flexible, very easy to just manipulate. Changing this multifunction switch, or turn signal switch rather, is not that bad. It's pretty easy to do. The downside is the wonderful Ford connectors for the electronics you'll see in a minute. My son was in the truck. That's the reason why I'm doing the voiceover. Yeah, you see that shield, it just popped right off once you get them screws out. Now you're going to see me realizing I need to pull that panel out of the way so I can get more room. That panel just pops right off. As you'll see, I used my hands, just popped right out. You don't have to use a whole lot of force. And you can wiggle it out. And here we go. These are actually T20s, and there's only 2 of them. I'll show you the screw here in a second. But you have that one there at the bottom I just pulled out, and then there's one directly up top. It's the only reason why you need to move that upper piece out just a little bit to get to the screw. That's all you got to do. So you don't need to take the tumbler out of the way and take that completely out, in other words. Now you're about to see the nightmare connectors. The reason why it broke away is because I had to go get some other flatheads. Want to be very careful with these little ears. This is why I did it in the warm weather versus the cold, because plastic will break easily. I thought I actually broke that ear right there when that happened, but the screwdriver just slipped. And we're going to continue seeing me fight with this thing. it is such a nasty design. The one thing we can say is those electrical connectors, when they're in, they don't come out. Yeah, there we go. Got the easy one out. I got tired of messing with the other one. And this one was in my way, actually, so taking that one off first would be the best. Especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. I was actually sweating whenever I was doing this. I definitely recommend having 2 screwdrivers to pop this clip out of the way. Well, electrical connector, I should say. I thought I could walk it out, but it was being very, very stubborn. I think this first attempt is a fail at this. Here it goes. Got it. Who knew something like that would be so difficult, huh? See my son's foot over there. I was checking the connections, making sure I didn't mess anything up because I had that screwdriver slip. Here you see me, I was checking my shifter. It's a little loose, and what it is the bushings up there on top of the column go bad. So that's going to be my next fix. Not in this video though. Here I am showing the new part. You can actually see all the little markings on it. For some reason that tickles me. I don't know. It's just an old beater truck, I guess. So when I put something new in, it just makes me smile. Definitely put the hard one in first. I accidentally hit the flasher button in. Just make sure these click into place. That way they don't come out like seen earlier. And basically it's just put it back together. The way I did this is I actually started the screws in before I went in for the initial tighten down. That way I can make sure everything was lining up where it's supposed to be and it wasn't going to rub anywhere. I am going to point out these little ears that come off the actual column. metal ear, where that plastic nub where the screw will go into, it's supposed to slip in. I'm going to point that out to you here after a little while. Having those Torx drivers are really handy. You don't realize how much little room you have trying to film something like this until you start doing it. There was a point where I had to cut out because I almost dropped the camera. You see me going in reverse because I was making sure I wasn't cross-threading those screws in. Do the same thing for the top one more time, I think. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Now I'm going to point that out to you. Right there. That's that little nub that the screw goes through. It has to also line up with that. That way, not only does it clamp with each other, it also clamps onto the column itself. These are things that note and look for whenever you're doing this type of work. I didn't realize how dirty my steering wheel was until I actually started watching this videos to make the edits. Now these shroud pieces, they actually do snap together a little bit, but they don't hold together well, especially as old as this one is. See, it just popped. Definitely want to start with this screw that's closest to the driver's door. There's only one on this side, so there's two other screws on the other side, and you gotta watch because there's a fake hole there. Like there's nothing there, it's just a hole, and I don't even know why it's there. I don't know if somebody drilled it in there for something at one time, or if there's like something extra from another vehicle that's supposed to go on. I don't know, but you have to be careful. If you look at the very beginning, you'll see which holes I'm talking about. After this, you'll see me struggle with that dash panel piece to get it back in. Not a big struggle, just gotta try to figure out how to wiggle it back down in there. I mean, ultimately, you could just block your wheels off and turn the ignition key on and move the gear selector out of your way, and it'll go right in. But if you take a little time and some patience, you can wiggle that piece right back in, no problem. My little sidekick over there just hanging out. Again, I'm doing the same method as I did with the switch. Is I put the screws in, but I didn't tighten them. When I went back and I redid them to make sure they were tight afterwards. And of course, we got to put our lever back in for the tilt wheel. I just screwed it in by hand and got it as tight as I could with by hand, and that was it. Like I said, though, they do have flat spots for a wrench. I would probably use a small crescent wrench because I don't even really know the size wrench you would use for that. There's the power struggle. Anyway, this is pretty much done. Thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button. Want to see more? And if you haven't, subscribe.